very upset. But let's look at what we have coming up next. That is going to be UYU and Excelerate, Nameless. What are you thinking about that?
UYU yesterday getting pretty much stomped by United. That first map obviously could have went to the side of UYU. They didn't pull out their flak jacket at the very end, and they end up losing that series 3-0. And then on the side of Excelerate, they take Luminosity to a game 5, and we saw some rage on the side of Excelerate. After they lost that game, they were so mad at each other because they just can't squeak out a win there. They keep losing these game 5s, and are they losing trust in each other? We'll see how that goes. But Skies, for me, switching over to that main AR role. Once again, his natural role has been pretty good in hardpoint. Obviously, the search and destroy and the control KD is lacking a little bit, but it's really been those game 5 searches. Will they step up to the plate in game 5? Will they be able to close these out? We'll see going forward, but it hasn't looked good thus far.
Or Pack, on the same time, they could follow in Red's footsteps and that turmoil that, we saw them upset with each other yesterday might just take them down.
I mean, they're a brand new team. Like Red, I feel like Red has spent way more time together as a unit than this Excelerate team has. They just added on these players, and they're getting used to playing with one another. From the players, so from Farfeezy, who was on the old Excelerate roster, he's the one that we saw the rage from. This team, even though they're losing, is performing better than his old roster. So they just need to come together and figure out how to close the game 5s. Like Ant said, I don't think the turmoil is going to break them apart as much as just them not being able to close as a team. The turmoil comes from your lack of clutch.
Yeah.
Right.
They also don't have a leader, right? Like you look at this Excelerate team and there's no veteran leadership on there. So they kind of have to come together as a unit and realize there's things we need to learn. We need to humble ourselves out, and just this is going to be a grind. And I think UYU might be going through sort of the same thing at the moment. But for some reason, when I look at UYU, I see potential in their games. They're very close, and 5-2 in control, so that's one game mode that looks good for them. And you have the young gun in Parzilian, who's been lighting it up with that main AR. Just when will they put it together as well?
I wonder then, so on that point, they are coming off that loss to United, but do you think they have the edge here against Excelerate Study? Or?
Well, the way Excelerate ended their day yesterday is just bashing heads with each other.
Right.
I'm looking at UYU just for the simple fact, Ant always says it's the first map for them. This team either gets a 3-0 or gets 3-0'd. So if they come out and win their first map, I'm expecting big performances out of Proto and Gorgonite. So if they can play what they need to do with their Sog roles, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, the thing was with UYU, even early on with their last roster, is their search and destroy was just terrible, but they were so good at control. We saw Mayhem, he was leading in damage at the end of every leaderboard because of control. He would just go off every time, and their hardpoint was 60-40. They'd win it more than they lost it, and right now, I think they have potential to continue that. It's will they win that first map, and then is their search and destroy just a little bit better? Because I think they can get there. It just comes down to finding that consistency. That's what it is for UYU. If they're able to be consistent, they can take teams to the wire.
That's, again, we say it every single time we're on the desk. So many different teams. It's all about consistency. Can you keep that momentum up? But we will see, because that match will be coming up in just a minute. Again, you saw the tragedy on Red Reserve's face. Scrap so upset as they were 3-0'd by Heretics. That might be another nail in that very closed coffin. But coming up, we have Excelerate versus UYU.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL. And Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
First game of the day was a quick 3-0. What will we get for the second one? UYU versus Excelerate. Obviously, speaking of 3-0's chance for UYU, story's pretty interesting. It seems like we're either going to get 3-0s with them winning or get 3-0s with them losing and nothing in between.
So it's an incredibly small sample size, so it's completely meaningless, but I will happily run with the story. 3-0 or get 3-0'd.
Yep.
Normally we say it just skip straight to map 5, right? This time, whoever wins the hard point wins the game. 100%.
Could be as simple as that. But one thing's for sure, for Excelerate, the one player who's impressed me throughout cross-divisional play and, well, honestly, throughout the year has been Brack. His performances have been fantastic. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table in the series.
Me too, because he carried me yesterday in League play.
Oh, did he really?
I somehow got matched up with like him and Skies. I played the entire game with my fist out. Didn't try to kill a single person. We beat him like 250 to 13.
Wow.
It was wonderful. I'm saying best League play experience of my entire life. Vonderhaar, if you could just make stuff like that happen all the time, I'll be over the moon.
Keep getting your gems, bro. Keep getting those gems. Obviously, on the side of UYU, some pretty big inconsistencies kind of creeping through. You never really know what you're going to get with the squad, and it's scary. And one of those players that I think we kind of have to highlight, have to talk about a little bit is Proto. He's a player who, throughout the past few days, you watch him in a hardpoint, and he'll start off like, 2-10, 2-11. Then all of a sudden, you look at the end of the game, he's 20-21. He's earned streaks. He's managed to make a big play with a specialist. It's a weird one. You almost just want to say, stop starting slow, and you're going to start winning more maps. Simple as that.
It really is like this SOG duo that kind of decides the fate of UYU. I think against a lot of teams, the top and the bottom, like everywhere, they are the ultimate X factor because you look at the ARs from UYU, you have pretty high expectations. You expect at least good things, if not great. Parzillion has been fantastic. Methods in his own right, phenomenal player. He's an MVP last year, can't forget. And Mayhem, honestly, might be the best player on the team. Like, he's in that conversation. He's been unreal. So when when Knight is what we call him, Gorgo and Knight, I'm so used to that on Twitter. When either Knight or Proto have a good game, they win. When one of them has a bad game, they lose. It seems fairly straightforward. And on the side of Excelerate, they play everyone competitive no matter what. Actually, yeah, this is a problem. We have one team that's the 3-0 or 0-3 Kings. The other team going to game 5 no matter what. Yeah. So maybe this is our 3-1 bet.
Yeah, the happy medium. The in between. Maybe it is. Maybe it was destined to be this series. But in terms of your point, SMG duo, definitely something to keep your eyes out for here with UYU if they're going to change things around and get some success. What do you think about Methods on this one? I know it's a random question plucked out aside, but has he impressed you as much as you kind of thought individually and maybe as a player on this squad?
I wouldn't say he's impressed me because of how high my expectation is for him. Like, I expect him to be in the conversation for one of the better ARs in the game, in the conversation at least for that top 5. Maybe not definitively in there, but to me he's been good, but I don't think he's really heavily dabbled with that yet. I think he's definitely been solid. So, great player in the Pro League. I don't know, like top half of the AR, whatever that's going to be, but not impressed because of how good he was last year is what I'm saying. But again, it's just, I feel like almost everyone falls into that role just because of like, you have 3 ARs essentially per team. Like, how do you want to differentiate? But I would say he's been very, very good, but he hasn't emerged to the expectations he built for himself last year, if that's fair.
No, that seems fair. Seems very fair. Of course, bit of history between some of the players on the stage here as we get ready for game number 1 to start up. As we mentioned, for UYU, the past couple of games has been either you 3-0 or you get 3-0'd. On the flip side for Excelerate, fair amount of game 5 L's that have been taken. But here's a look at our series layout for this one. We started at Arsenal hardpoint, a payload search and destroy, then a Gridlock control. If it goes further, Gridlock to close out the series.
That is a ton of Gridlocks back to back to back, and honestly it's kind of tricky to even evaluate because like we saw Excelerate, for example, play a couple Gridlocks against LG, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit different playing against UYU for, whatever different reason. And then
it gets spawn trapped. That's bad, at least.
Oh, we don't even have to. That's a whole different breed. Yeah, that's just not fair. We got to just erase that one from the memory banks. Just stop bringing it up because that's just, it feels bad.
It feels very, very, very bad when you can't even leave your spawn. You spawn up and you're instantly fallen. Of course, LG a master class and Gridlock control. Was it yesterday? Or was it the day before? It was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, it must have been yesterday.
We're talking about
LG spawn trap. It was yesterday, right?
Yeah, that was yesterday.
It just blends. There's a lot of COD, a lot of Call of Duty, that's for sure. But map number 1. Let's get underway for this series. Arsenal hardpoint. Map number 1 definitely going to set the tone for the series. Potentially, to your point, with one team going to a lot of game 5s and one team only 3-0s. Maybe we're destined for our first 3-1.
I love that these are the storylines.
Yeah, we'll pluck them out of the air at this point. Why not?
When you talk about different players, different teams, you can only say so much for so long. Like, we could talk about Methods, honestly, as a player for probably another, like, 20 minutes if we really wanted to, but you'd be beating a dead horse at a certain point. But this is a map, when I think about it, I think I might lean the way of UYU, and I lean the way because of the ARs. I think this is one of the map where there's so many hills where just about AR completely lock it down. Like, off the rip, what's going to happen? You take a couple ICRs, you go inside, set up on a pillar, try to win the gunfights. Like, obviously, there's a lot more that's going on, but Proto, again, saw it forever, pulls out an AR off the rip to make it happen. Wouldn't even be surprised if Jet Li had one himself. The second hill, you see an extra AR or two. The third hill, extra AR or two. Like, AR control, constantly important, and you talk about the ARs, Accelerate, storm on through.
Yeah, they said, Chance, shut up.
No. It's 10 seconds into the game, Ben. We got time.
That's a full wipe and more. Accelerate, picking up the early time, and just a glance at the kill column, Chance. Only one for UYU so far, and it came from Proto. We actually saw the opening kill. Besides that, and no one finding a pick just yet, but the spawns currently being fought over. I believe it's Skies, or no, sorry, M. Ruiz and Skies deep at the back of the map. They're trying to hunt out Parzilian, who may actually get some terrible timing here on M. Ruiz, or maybe M. Ruiz gets the terrible timing. And them dancing and darting between each other. Parzilian finally sniffed out. One shot, and somehow still alive. Of course, you do have a couple of players, a couple of teammates in the old hill. And Parzilian's done very well just to shut down Skies, but M. Ruiz still alive at the back.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets, but unfortunately for him, his teammates just did nothing on the front side as well. And, well, Mayhem's now going for the full flank, but they're going to have to do this fairly quickly. He's biding his time before he gets this kill. I don't know if it's going to pay off. He's got a player behind him. He actually did it just perfectly, and he stays alive. He makes the smart play, and they break on through. The back spawns are there, but, again, not always easy to break in, even if you're coming from the back. Mayhem with the nade, a player actually just soars straight over top, and we say it's not easy to break in, and it takes them all but a few seconds, and there they are.
And that man again, Brack, starting off strong, 7-3 his start to this game. 17 seconds hold time as Profizi wins the final fight for the 9 seconds. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, it's the rotational fights, which are huge, and it's Knight that picks up a double. Brack, though, trying to slow down UYU, the score 50-23. So not a massive lead by any means. Oh, a close one. Looking to try and find 3. Unfortunately, the team kill for Methods comes through. That's going to shut down any potential streaks he had. Mayhem not slowing down. 2 back-to-back in quick succession. Destroys the trophy. And all of a sudden, UYU back in.
And this is where the AR control on this hill is just absurd. Like, Hunter Thieves did a phenomenal job on it back on Fort Worth, but, like, how do you get in? You got everybody on jet head glitches, people pushed out, back steps. You have to take so much time to essentially flood around back, which is what Accelerate's going through. But then you have to win the gunfight. So far, so good. Knight inside the hill, trying to push around back. Eventually, they clean him out. They take their time to go around, and they make it happen. But still, UYU is able to get quite a bit of time, and they soar right back in anyway. So Accelerate only able to get a few extra points on board as UYU, well, they take the lead and bump it up just a little bit.
Just a tad. There's Jet Li fighting on that rotational fight. Accelerate about to take the lead once again. And for Jet Li, can take his time. Doesn't need to force anything just yet. Brack, of course, highlighted on the minimap. He will fall at the other side, so that's where the pressure really is going to come from. There's one more fight Jet Li needs to worry about. Meanwhile, it's Window, which Emma Rees was worried about. He's able to assist. 2 more players from UYU in front of him. Accelerate have taken the lead, but hardpoint is contested with 35 seconds left. Brack, though, once again, in the hill, finding kills.
And the nade is actually pretty big because that's just going to stuff the push from UYU, and now his teammates are there for the reinforcements. This has been an incredibly strong hold here on gun. Even our players making moves from outside the map and might be able to pay off and get those final few seconds. Parzilian able to clean up those final 2, and, well, we've seen the rotation fight on the backside of the map before. This time, M. Ruiz able to take down the player early, and essentially he's just going to be blocking spawns. So the players he killed, UYU spawning out on the just complete other side of the map. They're over in Narnia, but they do take care of M. Ruiz, so UYU has the back spawns now. They just have to finish the hill.
And it's basically going to come down to can Parzilian hunt down Profizi. Profizi number 7. You'll see the fight any second now. Really, this is important for the spawns. Profizi wins it. Bear in mind, Accelerate are in the hill as well, so early hill time and spawn control favorable for Excelerate, but now it's Mayhem's turn to try and pinch. UYU not giving up the spawns just yet, but Hillstime still in favor of Excelerate. So despite that kind of skirmish at the back of the map chance, Excelerate are more than happy to just say, go for it, we'll sit in the hill.
Yeah, so much of a pressure to fight for spawns. You kind of missed the point of the game just a little bit. And well, I was kind of expecting the UYU to be pretty solid on this map, but it has been nothing but Excelerate so far. And you talked about Brack with a hot start. Well, Perfeezy trying to take over a little bit as well. On a 5 spree, 95 off the streaks, gets the heal, gets the bait. But Emery is just a little bit too strong with that Maddox. Gets the kill before it can happen, but early time is here. You even got a flamethrower. Not the best hill for it, but hey, it's there.
The early time, and bear in mind, time is enough here for those streaks. You just have to stay alive. His teammates have pretty much everything covered. There's one player creeping into vent, which will be called out relatively soon. The lightning has been earned, and a great setup here from Excelerate.
And it's worth pointing out, you got Skies on a 5 spree as well, so lightning comes in there, the rest gets shut down, but honestly, Skies has a Tempest if he wants to make it work. A nice little HC car hanging out in a wall as well. I don't know if this is a museum, a testing lab. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose. Tempest, not necessary. Lightning Strike and Hellstorm are in. And well, you got a Lightning, a Hellstorm, and an extra Lightning, a couple extra specialists to help you out. And honestly, with the lead as big as it is, all these hills are outside. Accelerate almost certain have like a 98% chance of winning this game.
You just never know. Perfeezy with a double. And if this hill is broken, you may see the streak come through, and that was the worry that Skies had. He invests the Lightning very, very quickly, keeping the pressure on Accelerate. For now, though, it is still UYU controlling the back of the map, but control that all you want. Doesn't matter if you're not inside the hill. Skies is now decided to invest the Tempest as well. UYU in a lot of pain as the first Tempest shot connects. Gets a little lucky with the teammate support. Second Tempest shot connects as well. Pushing forward, a grab slam invested by Proto. Still the Tempest alive. Trades back and forth. And throughout the first 30 seconds of this hill, Accelerate have grabbed every single second.
And they still have the bailout as well. You can pour so much pressure into this hill because you have the streaks for the rotation. Or even if you want, you can still streak here for final 20 seconds. Because you have all of them, you have a lot at your disposal. Or you have a Brack, and well, it essentially cancels out. He has a score streak of his own.
198, 95. 8 seconds of scrap goes to UYU. That'll see them, if they decide to take the scrap, which they actually don't, stay under the 100-point mark. Perfeezy, Lightning Strike, Skies, Hellstorm. Hellstorm invested. Information is good for. Jet Li should have a free kill. In fact, Skies is going to take care of that himself, so he doesn't even need to worry about it. Mayhem caught in lobby. He falls. Accelerate. A perfect start to this hill.
This is just as brutal as it could possibly be. No one is ever going to get through this lobby door. If they do, they're going to get cooked alive. Players around back. Perfeezy wants to go and help. There's no one for him to find because his teammates are killing everyone. They've had everything pushed out. Jet Li, nice little three-piece. Trying to get through the door. Again, you just get cooked. And, well, you kind of have to flood as well. 20 points away. The game is over. We'll see you on respawn. You want to call in the Lightning? You don't need to because you're going to win the game no matter what. You can do anything right now. We're just waiting for 10 seconds to go by.
And that is such a good setup. And I'm pretty sure it was against, was it Red earlier on in the week where we kind of critiqued their setup a little bit, saying, well, sometimes they push too far out. That time they watch everything perfectly. That backside of the map, spawns are anchored and spawns are blocked. They push all the way forward. They have lobby covered. That was just a great game one there from Accelerate.
That's actually a phenomenal point as well, because the 2 game 5s that they have had, if they just fixed their arsenal hardpoint, they would have won both of them in a 3-1 fashion, actually. They would have had the 3-1 dream. And again, it was on 2 separate hills, both second and third against 2 separate teams, but the exact same issue, as you pointed out, just not blocking the back spawns. But they're very good when they do block those back spawns of pushing out so ridiculously far that the guy in hill is just bored.
Yeah.
Like, he's just hanging out and be like, guys, like, I mean, this is fun, but can someone, like, toss me an ICR so I can, like, pretend to shoot at him? So they've been on point on Arsenal, except for a few key mistakes, and when they fix those, they win 250 to 90, whatever.
Yeah, very, very one-sided game. Welcome to the 100-point club, UYU. Of course, it does help when you have, 3 streaks, a grab slam, the Tempest, a flamethrower, when everything kind of comes to fruition. It definitely helps a lot more, but either way, not a close game whatsoever. And I guess with that, probably game 2, game 3 could go the way of Accelerate. I'm sticking with this story because we haven't seen a 3-1 yet.
I mean, I think it has to be at this point, right?
UYU
Like,
just get 3-0.
That is very true. I'm honestly just really annoyed with myself of like completely forgetting their like Arsenal woes and being like they're actually really good outside of those small moments. But talk about players that are doing great things and had amazing performances with the flamethrower. We had Jess talking to Profizi.
Thanks, Chance. Yeah, talked to Profizi, and first he chatted a little bit about the game versus LG yesterday. He said that, of course, it was disappointing to lose versus them, but the fact that they could take a champ to Game 5, he said, was kind of really a little bit of an ego boost for them and really kind of made them proud. And going into this match versus UYU, he said, we are looking to stomp them, which, as we can see, they're definitely accomplishing so far, and kind of finished up with, you know, we want to do it for Skies since UYU dropped him. Now, over on the side of UYU, I did talk to Proto, and he said that, you know, he's a little disappointed with the way things have been going lately. He said that we've been choking, we've just been playing sloppy, and one of the issues is he feels that they just don't get great practice when they're playing online. He said we play much better on LAN, and we just improve a lot faster when we're playing on LAN. So he's glad to be here at the Pro League, getting all this great practice under his belt, but he's just really looking forward to when that improvement can kind of really begin and really kick in. So that's all I've got. Ben and Chance, back over to you guys.
Thank you so much, Jess. Great to hear from her, and of course what the players were saying before the series started. Mentioned, of course, a little bit of a rivalry there that comes through, but all things considered, as it stands, 1-0. Looking forward to Game 2 here. How do you see it going, Chance? Break it down for me.
Do you remember what the map was? Payload, I suppose?
Yes.
It was definitely Payload.
Payload.
I'm not too sure. Like, Excelerate is a team, when I look at it, like when I look at the sniper perspective, I'm not overwhelmed. And I know Knight has been pretty good, but at the same time, even without amazing sniper presence, they've still been pretty solid. And on Payload specifically, they've had a good run of it. But I don't know. I think it's just any of these teams at this point, I just expect it always to be competitive. Like, there's a few teams that I'll give a clear-cut advantage or disadvantage to. But all those guys, like, towards the middle of the pack, I just kind of think, like, it could go either way. At the same time, Excelerate is undefeated in the Game 2s, though. So if you want to go that route, you can just say, hey, give them the Game 2. But that doesn't even make sense how that's a thing.
Undefeated in Game 2s, can't win a Game 5.
Yeah.
Very soon. What's our overall record now? Is it 4 and 5?
5. No.
5 and 6.
It's better for, well, they've more Game 2s than Game 5s. I think 5 and 4. So
5 and 4? Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
So it's an interesting search and destroy statistic, because you think, oh, well, they're clearly very good at search in the Game 2, but when it comes to crunch time, just not able to close it out.
That's what I was thinking. I don't even think, like, that's the storyline you have to push for, like, that scenario, but I don't even think that's what it is. I think sometimes things just go that way. I think it's a new team that hasn't had a ton of time to be able to go over their search and destroy in depth, and so they're just going to be kind of average, and it just so happens that they always win the game, too. It's like,
very weird that it happens so consistently.
Right. I'm just saying, I don't think they're an anti-clutch team. I think they're a new team that have to figure things out of, like, oh, this is how you block the back spawns on Arsenal on these different hills. You fix those mistakes. Sure. Now you're winning. You're 100-point clubbing teams, and I think that's going to be the same thing for a lot of their search and destroy. They just need more repetitions, and then they'll win the Game 2s and the Game 5s.
If that is the case, that makes it a very scary team. Very scary.
I've been trying to push that since day one.
Yeah.
I was calling them intimidating, because that was the story.
Okay.
They won Game 5 against LG. They took Spice to at least a Game 4. Like, they look scary. They just had to put it together.
Well, our Arsenal hardpoint has been put together finally, and let's see if their Game 2 success continues here against UYU. Skies with a sniper rifle. Out early. A couple players across the way from the B-bomb site. 3 players to be precise, and don't line up for Skies, because Collat definitely on the cards here if you're not careful.
Yeah, Proto's a very squirrely player, though. He's not going to give you very much time to get a kill at all, and eventually they say, all right, let's go for the rotation. You got a gunfight coming on outskirts, potentially. Jet Li, though, is here and ready. Mayhem just trying to force him to back down, which, well, that should be able to do the job, and now you have pressure moving towards the bomb site. Ruiz, again, pressure's there, but the bomb has creeped over to the site. Brack, though, able to get that first blood because he just sat over by B.
I'll tell you what, Skies may actually have an angle there. With the sniper rifle, he did, and not able to find the pick, but Jet Li peeks that window. He'll find the player planting the bomb, and well, it was a gunfight I thought was going to be won by Profizi, but it wasn't, so now a 2v2. Bomb is going down. Bit of a pinch coming through from Excelerate. Skies flies through, he finds one, Skies finds, no he doesn't, Parzilian one shot. Brack could have gone for the instant challenge, but he has control, has positioning for the fight, just needs to win the fight. And Parzilian's going to be allowed to scramble away here. I'm amazed Brack didn't instantly challenge that.
And if they're close, Brack has the advantage with the Maddox. If they're far away, you give it to Parzilian, but he might actually have 2 different weapons now because he picked up a Solid, so who knows? It's all about the gunfight, though. Parzilian gets him weak, doesn't get the kill, tries to get out, is successful. just playing his life, and now Brack, well, feels like he needs to go hunting, and Barzillion might have played it perfectly. Even if he gets the kill, there's just not enough time, and that's a 2v1 you think Excelerate might have been able to get, but big plays coming in from Pars.
As soon as Skies flies forward towards the site and he gets the first and tags up the second as much as he did, Brack has to just fly at that.
That's the brutalness of stim shot, though. Like, you get to call out one shot, and if you're not instantly there, he's going to be full health by the time you get there. So I'm not saying I disagree. I think most players in that situation just go flying over to trust, like, maybe he's reloading, healing, whatever it's going to be. But either way, Barzillion, again, just makes the big play and has the cool moves in the 1v1.
Sure does. Stays alive, puts space between him and Brack, and although he falls at the end, it doesn't matter. No time for Brack to defuse the bomb. So first round goes to UYU. Accelerate on the attack. What are they going to show? Well, a very fast A push. Seems to be on the cards here. All 5 players making their way. There's Barzillion watching outer. There's nothing but hit markers. Meanwhile, methods, you can shoot there all you want. That's not where the player's planting the bomb. Bomb down. Still waiting for the first blood.
And Jet Li was able to get this top window control as well, so you're going to have to push in the middle. But even if you get there, well, you have to go to the top windows eventually, which you already know you got players double stacked in. And honestly, if you're at UYU, you can't even accomplish anything. There's nothing for you to do. If you ever have to flood up the middle and you don't have that window control, you're going to get killed from the outskirts over in like the little tunnel thing. You're getting killed from connector, shot in the front, shot in the back, and you're worried about flanks as well. So honestly, just a lot of pressure, a lot of good map control from Excelerate, and a much better round.
Much better. You're absolutely right. And Profizi with the plant spot, making sure he can't get wall banged. Methods is just kind of left calling out. I told you he was on bomb. I just couldn't find him. And everyone else that went to check fell very, very quickly. So game tied. 1 round apiece. Back over now to UYU on the attack.
And it's interesting if the adjustment made from UYU as well, because like he was trying to wall bang through the bomb, but you can also do it like through the tractor as well. So maybe he's going to see, oh, next time I'm just hitting everything. And of course, Brack 50 away from streaks. Fire him, just go throw some trophies. Or stuns, or just kill him.
Well, they went over towards B initially. Of course, Brack number 9 on the minimap. It's a 6-0 start for him. Hasn't fallen. So do keep your eye on that. Right now he's in no man's land, but that's fine. He's rotating back over towards the site. Teammates trying to collapse through. Brack will have one fight against Mayhem. Nade thrown. That's not going to connect. EK anything would be perfect. Best case scenario, his teammates get all the kills and he just hops on the defuse, but time is ticking.
And Profizi showed himself on the flank so many times that UYU is actually dedicating players to watch the back, which means you don't have as much pressure in the front and all the gunfights go down, but eventually the rotation does come in, and honestly, it might be Excelerate playing a little bit slow to try to get these streaks. He's able to get the first, and well, now this player pretty far back. They clearly know he's here. Hopping the bomb, you got Brack for the coverage, looking for streaks, the round win, everything. But the timing might be there. Knight not in time to get the kill. Defuse comes in, and you get the streaks. Everything going right for Excelerate.
I thought Brack had picked the wrong way to watch there for a second. He has a quick jiggle over towards connector. No one there. Back to support his teammate defusing the bomb. A very good retake there for Excelerate.
And as far as like the 50-50 from Brack goes, if you know he has to push up one of the two sides. Well, if you push the connector side of things, well, if you go up the stairs, now you have the height advantage. He has to swing all the way around. If you go the other direction, well, you might have to take a gunfight on a guy in a head glitch.
Right.
So I think he actually makes the right decision, and well, obviously he does in the 50-50 as well. 8-0, by the way, not bad.
Yeah, wins a round. Could have been 3-0, let's not forget, if that first round goes a little bit differently, but Brack doing it all. 2 streaks available, War Machine already. And it looks like it's a bit of a bait over towards B. That's going to give teammate with the bomb information of how many players are over towards A. Also gives him license to try and push forward. He's actually going to call in the lightning as well. Now, what effect is that going to have? Well, nothing just yet, but again, the map control that his teammates are able to get is massive. Profizi now earns himself a lightning, and he should get himself a Hellstorm here as the bomb goes down, unless Proto gets some great timing, which he won't. More streaks available for Excelerate, a 2-man advantage. Make it a 1-man. This game is looking very, very grim here for UYU.
I was going to say, they could call in a streak if they want, and they might need to. If Profizi calls that in, he knows 2 players are in the back, but Maybe feels the pressure that they're already inside. Clean movement from him. He's not nervous at all, and actually the movement's perfect. I think he saw that player, wants to go check the bomb, wins the gunfight up top, knows he's going to get traded. In a 1v2, it's going to be Ruiz by himself, and yeah, UYU pull off a very difficult round. I was thinking that entire time when Brack was going for the flank, just someone calling the Hellstorm. You know, because Jet Li called out 3 players coming out through snow. Just kill them, secure the round. Even if you have man advantage, go for it, but they do not. UYU going big, despite the smart plays from Excelerate.
Yeah. That was
from Perfeezy.
3v5, I think it was, a brief moment there. Either way, great job retaking the site. And here's a glance over towards Proto's perspective. Gets the best play as he collapses down on Ruiz for the final kill. And instantly has license to push on towards the bomb and get the defuse and tie things up 2 rounds apiece.
Now we get to see what UYU tries to piece together on offense. Obviously, they know they're going to have to deal with at least one more streak, and I would assume at this point they're aware that Perfeezy has his 2 as well. So they got their work cut out for them and trying to move their way over towards B. Of course, they're a little bit exposed for the moment, but you got players in tunnel. You should mostly be fine on the streak front. Mostly.
Should be. We'll see. Despite a massive advantage for Excelerate, they're all tied up, and for UYU, they push over towards the B site. Leave Excelerate scrambling away. A trade comes through, so 4 versus 4. 50 seconds left, and still UYU not confident enough with the control they have over the site to put the bomb down. Brack up top, he's going to be challenged, and he will fall. But again, Sky's able to find a pick elsewhere. Keeps it close, 3v3.
Methods is going to fall as well. Excelerate now pouring the pressure up to top heaven. UYU just want to rotate the bomb over towards A, and that's a tough spot for them to be in. They don't have to worry about the score streaks, obviously, which is the silver lining, but you got to worry about the 3 players that have complete control, and Jet Li is hung out here while his teammates go to A. But it's just about that timing. Does he check this bomb? And of course, when that player plants, if he gets it down, does he get out with his life? He does not. And well, now you got a player coming on the flank through tunnel. You got 2 players to deal with up top, and best of luck. This is not a fun spot to be in.
It's possible. He's got to win the gunfights, which he's not even going to be able to do. Jet Li with that kill will also secure his grab slam. Now it's a question of who's close to what. Well, Jet Li, of course, closest to the streaks, if I'm not mistaken. He's 450 away, but they're going to give it to Ruiz.
Which I assume is just helping him out towards that TAC 5.
Yep.
Get him to TAC 5, you get some specialist combinations going down, you can converse about a bunch of different things. It's very intent looks on the players.
Right. Give them some time going into the next round. Assess, figure out what the game plan is going to be, because despite, again, the massive advantage they have in terms of all the extra utility, still a close one. Credit to UYU. Staying in it. 3-2 in favor of Excelerate. We'll see if they're able to keep it close once again. Tie things up again. A Hellstorm, a Lightning, and a Hellstorm available for Excelerate. Perfeezy already so close to the vision pool. Sparzelia not even halfway there. It really shows you just the size of the advantage Excelerate been able to earn.
Once again, Excelerate definitely heavily leaning over towards this A site. We've seen them playing in a couple similar spots. Now the Hellstorm's coming in. You got to flood inside, but that's 2 players dealing with a ton. No one's died yet, though. The Hellstorm maybe not even able to connect. Eventually, they can find Mayhem, and that's definitely going to be good enough for them to get the bomb down as well. Again, they've gone to A every single time, but triple stacked from UYU over towards the B site. But Excelerate don't feel like mixing things up because they've had success, and I got Proto going on a potential flank, and Methods is able to find a kill. So doable round right now for UYU.
I'm not sure why Jet Li just ran away. You know, Methods is going to have a line of sight on you there. Methods is going to pick up a free kill. Feezy stayed alive. Brack is now trying to rotate, and once again, the bomb goes down, but Excelerate's post-plant play has not been the best. Skies is tracking back. He's close to some streaks. Turns around, manages to find the pick. Now it's a 1v1 with 12 seconds left. Knight searching, Knight hunting. Best case scenario, you shut down any potential streaks. Sky's looking for the final kill, which he gets. Puts him close to streaks. But a round which, honestly, probably shouldn't have been that close in the first place.
That's just a strange round on like a couple fronts. You got Methods getting kills, and Jet Li was like, me too. It's that hashtag, let's get that movement going. Come shoot me in the back. And Skies against the trade, and players sprinting into gunfights left and right. But I don't know. All's well that ends well for Excelerate. another round on board, and they invest a Hellstorm to make it happen. Keep in mind, the strategy at the start of the round was great. Going towards the site, clear the players off the God spot, you get complete control, you get up top window, you just do everything. And then just, you know, shoot back sometimes.
All it takes. Accelerate, back-to-back round wins. Gives them a 2-round cushion. You still have Profizi with his streaks. Now, all of a sudden, Skies is just 25 points away. Doesn't have his trophy yet. And he's, of course, getting a little closer. But he's going to have all the information he needs. It's a B push, and, well, I bet you wish you had the trophy now. Would have been streaks. Of course, War Machine out. Rack sits in the corner. There's one. Not going to find the second. Skies does have the option to pull out the Tempest. Be a bold one. But it's available if he wants to.
Potentially might have to as well. The bomb is picked up, not going down yet. All the pressure from Excelerate coming to the back. Sky's able to get the first one out. The trade's going to be here. Par's able to pick up the trade, essentially. So still 3v3. UYU, a player all the way in the back. Par's just trying to run through him. Methods from the back, able to get a kill. Now that bomb is, well, in a decent spot. Ruiz, if he can get a pick, obviously in a great spot, because these players are very split right now.
And he saw the shadow in tunnel, too, so you should know. Well, he's not crossed to B, has to be going towards A. What's his timing going to be like? Pretty damn good, unless Methods gets the call out, which he didn't. Now it's a 1v1. And Ruiz knows he has bomb down here. Methods forced with 17 seconds left to do nothing but stick. Ruiz is going for a little bit of a jog.
Of course, the spot Methods planted it for, he can watch it from connector, has a decent angle, but now he's just essentially following the path of Ruiz, but he feels that he's cleared out the rat back from Ruiz. Checks bomb, knows it's good, doesn't know it's good. That's a dead body. That's interesting, but it honestly might pay off for him because now he's just flanking the flank.
Ruiz taking a lot of time trying to find Methods, and well, Methods in the obvious spot, and Ruiz is probably going to check it. Spots him for 12 seconds. Can he win the gunfight quick enough? No, he can't. Methods clutches up. UYU win another round.
And that actually worked out beautifully for Methods as well. Like, I'm kind of annoyed that, like, Parzilian died while, like, trying to plant the bomb, and, like, Methods wasn't close enough to him to cover because they had plenty of time to get the setup that they wanted. But outside of that, gets the bomb planted for, like, window side for Godspot, clears out the path to make sure to check if Ruiz had wrapped back. The only downside of that is if Ruiz gets good timing on when Methods flew over to actually check the bomb the first time. But as soon as he gets through there, the timing worked out beautifully. He's over at outskirts, and, well, now you have the freest round ever. Assuming Ruiz just obliterate him in the gunfight.
Right. 4-3, still advantage Accelerate. Method's going to invest the Tech 5 boost. He's getting a little closer to some streaks of his own. 375, still low. Accelerate with 3 streaks available to use. They've pushed over towards A pretty much every attacking round. This time it's going to be a B push, and well, Tech 5 versus Tech 5, that's the effect. Very long gunfights. But after a couple of those fights go down, it's a 4 versus 1. All down to Mayhem. As he slides out, Jet Li puts him in his place. Accelerate, map point.
Just running him over as well. Just an aggressive call. Don't worry about the streaks. Like, you've already had a strat over towards the other site that worked. You call in the Hellstorm, force him in a bad spot, get the first blood bomb down, win the round. Switch things up and just say full flood. Like, we're expecting them to stack the other site. Let's try to get that blind counter going. And even if there was pressure from UYU there, the gunfights were simply not.
Once again, Accelerate putting some space between themselves and UYU, but to UYU's credit, they haven't completely been blown out here in the game too. They've kept it close, winning rounds, which they probably shouldn't have done in the first place. The problem here, though, is this is going to be such a tough one to win. Brack, War Machine, Profizi, Vision Pulse, Skies, a Tempest, and 3 streaks. This would be a hell of a way to throw a game chance if you lose all that utility.
Honestly, I don't expect them to either. They got the triple-double going right now. 3 players at 10 kills, all having great games, and one of the players that doesn't have 10 kills has streaks and a Vision Pulse. So, like, obviously things are doing okay. Profizi calls in the lightning strike. Not sure if he's going to connect with anything. Does not. Brack very aggressive on the flank. The timing might honestly work out perfect. And Knight's just trying to run away. And now Profizi calls in a vision. They can see absolutely everything. You don't have to be fearful at all. Sprint forward, win the gunfights, and, well, Brack does, and fights 3 people at the same time.
But he's a little frustrated. 3 players just turn around instantly. Tempest is out, though. Tempest finds 1. Can it snap onto the second? But you've got to be careful. You know, push too close. 4v3. Knight's going to try and have his way with Skies. Meanwhile, Profizi shuts down Methods. Knight goes down. 1v4. Good luck. Have fun. Accelerate continue with almost a perfect Game 2 record. Their searches have been great early on, and it's a 2-0 advantage. And again, UYU, they either win 3-0 or lose 3-0. It's looking like the latter.
And then, of course, for Accelerate, the best way to not lose a Game 5.
Just
don't go to Game 5. Just avoid it at all costs. And, of course, they are now one map away from winning the series, and they have been full steam ahead.
Yes, they most definitely have. The first game, not close whatsoever. And really, Game 2, a round count may be a bit more flattering than the actual game itself. As it stands, Accelerate 2-0 up against UYU. We'll be back with Game 3 control after this.
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Welcome back. Second game of the day. It's 2-0 Accelerate against UYU. And chance, if we're honest, the first two maps not been that close.
No, not even really for a moment. I think full steam ahead, both maps. Accelerate has just looked like a top team, honestly. They've looked pretty fantastic, and this is a team that if you pick some of their Game 5s, won their Fort Worth, radically different. Maybe not radically, but much better than T16, top 12, maybe top 8. Who knows how high they go, because losing to that top level competition, you don't have to go to the Game 5. It's not an issue.
Yeah, definitely, and that could be the case here. 2-0 up. We now head over towards a Gridlock control as our Game 3. Here is a quick glance at the hard point, just to jog your memory. The lobby kind of tells you everything you need to know. 43-0, the swing there. 250 to 98. Brack goes off at 1.31.
And then the worst thing about that lobby hill, the 43-0, is UYU had the back spawns. They made sure to take care of it. They hunted, I think, M. Ruiz down in the back quickly before the hill popped, or like right as it popped, and then they can never get back inside. Not a single point. Things aren't looking too good. And then you flip over to the SnD that we had. Skies had 13 kills, but Brack got streaked out first, right at the start of the game, like 3 rounds in, whatever it was, started off 8-0. Perfeezy gets streaks when he has 3 kills because he's planting the bombs left and right, and then all of a sudden Skies is the one that gets the most kills in the game. So clearly a lot of things going right. We decided to accelerate, and well, both maps, and now we move over towards a bunch of gridlocks.
Yeah, it's going to be gridlock for the second time today. So hopefully you enjoy your gridlocks as the series goes further. And of course, as it looks right now, if I'm honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if this was another 3-0 loss for UYU.
I mean, we say that now, but you never know, Ben. You simply never know. Because, I don't know, what am I supposed to say here? Like, yeah, no, it's looking great. Excelerate have been on fire. There's no reason for them to slow down a single bit. I don't know. They have been flawless so far. We'll see if they can continue it off the rip. All the pressure in the world over towards Zay. It's surprising to some, but only if you've never watched this map before on offense. 1 tick already gone by. Parzilian, by the way, inside the hill, able to pick up 2, which means you got to chalk the hill itself, or the zone. And now you just need to, well, set up a spawn trap, go for the kills, trap him inside the point. And we'll see how successful Excelerate can be on holding off B.
Oh, for UYU, they don't want to push through just yet. 3 players go back over towards their spawn. Number 7 and number 9, that's Jetly and Perfeezy. For Excelerate will be first to the spawn trap party. Should they try and go for it? Brack on the other side has watched the push through. He shut down Proto, but it's Knight, the first player for UYU that went all the way back. Looks mid-map. There's Skies with the ICR. You don't want to take that fight. Meanwhile, up top, Barzilian one-shot, scrambles away. Excelerate doing a good job of just keeping that life count controlled after the early, very quick capture of A.
Right now, Parzilian, the only player on his team with a kill, and, well, still the only player on his team with his kills. He gets number 4. Method's finally picking up. They got that 2-life advantage. And honestly, a little bit of clearance now as well. Sky's going on flank on one end. M. Ruiz trying to watch the push from another. But it looks like both players able to get through. Sky's not able to take him down, so it's up to Perfeezy inside to hunt him down. Of course, well, you got Brack looking in the back. Gunfights going down all over the place, but the hill is going to be clear. Accelerate doing a decent job.
There was a lot of faith that Excelerate just putting Perfeezy there as the only one by the zone, and he wins the fight anyway. Of course, Skies was deep inside enemy territory. Accelerate still down 1 life. So here's a glance over at Sky's perspective. Of course, rocking different sight. But that's some good use as the flank from Ice Cream comes through. Great effect. Brack with a double. And the 2 remaining players going for a bit of a flank. Perfeezy spots the first. Did he see the second, though? That's the question. Based off his actions, I don't think so. And he's going to be unfortunately shot in the back for him. And Ruiz looking for the trade, but it's a flank of a flank here, and it should work out in his favor.
Of course, he's still trying to clear out the back. Both of these players have gone all the way to post, and now you got 2 more players for UYU that are coming in. And Skies, well, he's going to be holding him off ever so slowly, but you got a grouping here. This is when they make their move. The players on post need to start pushing. Proto in the back on the flank, able to find another. Accelerate now spawning in that bottom right corner. Skies inside, is going to get taken down. He takes one with them. But UYU in the hill, this is where it starts.
Brack, though, has a bit of a pinch set up on the B zone if he wants, so he's actually inadvertently forced UYU to spawn even further away from the zone. So realistically, he just has to rely on his teammates to win the following fights, which so far so good they've been able to do. Brack still being a nuisance. He's 350 off streaks tagged up, falls as well, but his teammates do clear out the zone, and that's a heads-up play from Brack just to put pressure on the other side of the map, force UYU to spawn so far out.
And I think as well, UYU might need to take a page out of Red Reserve's playbook on the setup you have on the attack, because it kind of fell apart in post, never really got the 18 control despite the fact that they got bodies over, but it doesn't help when you're losing the gunfights. Of course, on the attack, once again, 3 gunfights go their way. The trades are in for them. Back inside the hill, the 1 life advantage. The second tick should almost certainly go through, and now Method's clearing outside of 18 by himself, though, in between everybody, wasting a ton of time, though. Second tick is in.
Challenge comes through from Perfeezy. He gets into a contest spot, but the final 4 lives now for Excelerate. Surely UYU have done enough. The tick coming through, and at a 6v2, you can say that one is GG. UYU's first real push was thwarted. It wasn't really the best, but the second one, significantly better.
Yeah, obviously just because we watched it on screen, but Method just pushing up that far can be risky if you just die instantly, because a lot of players play a little bit more passively on the 18, but he just wastes so much time that the next push, you are forced to fly at the hill, and well, that means the gunfights are that much more difficult to win. Of course, Brack is able to win a couple here in the best play, but either way, this is 6 offensive round wins in a row we've seen on this map?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, actually, no, because Red was on...
Oh, they were on the attack that final round. Well, it should have been 6, but...
Don't tolerate it, that. Advantage UYU. He definitely knows. Knight, 350 away from streaks. Method's starting the round on a streak, but nothing really too close just yet. Pressure over towards A comes through, as you would expect. Knight, 22 health. He's going to get wallbang. Proto will fall as well. Method's left trying to make something happen, but realistically, he's not going to be able to do much. Kill. Attack 5 investment straight off the rip. Now, does get a little closer towards some streaks. A is surely going to have to be conceded. Don't want to give it up just yet, though. The contest again comes through, and tell you what, Method's 110 away from streaks. Not able to get it with a decap enough. More pressure over towards the A site, though, and finally, it will be capped up by Excelerate.
When all is said and is done, it's still just that 1 life difference. So a lot of pressure poured on from UYU, but in the end, the result is going to be the same. You're just going to have to play defense over towards B, which is always great for a while, and then that switch gets flipped, you get broken for a second, and it all just collapses. They got double stacked mid-map, and I think they're really worried about Brack right now, because you have, what, Barzilian sitting at the bottom, even though his teammates got the cross for him. So all this pressure in the front, Mayhem, it's not going to be fun to deal with. Of course, not hyper-aggressive right now, and you got Knight going on the flank. The player's underneath, and well, the mid-map pressure ends up paying off as Knight, well, flanks and picks up 2.
The problem is, as you so rightfully pointed out, they were a little worried about Brack, and well, he's being a nuisance. There's 2. 1 more mid-map, make it 3. 325 away from streaks. He's earned his war machine. Can he get in post with it? Out dying? Yes, he can. And this is horrible for UYU now, but the Mayhem with the war machine puts it to good use, finds 2 kills in quick succession.
Problem with being alive for so long is you never have a moment to switch to flak, so the war machine just gonna destroy him when he gets into post. But an investment made from UYU trying to get this defensive win, and so far so good. Mid-map pressure though, Jet Li wins the gunfight. You got a triple flank maybe coming in. Jet Li's gonna wrap back, and Brack is in his same position once again. His teammates are slowly dying, but he's getting the kills. And there you go.
This is the window.
Might be the opening.
Some kills come through. Does Brack want to invest the war machine? The big question here with equal lives as he pushes in towards post, reads the positioning of Proto perfectly. Can't get the pick on towards Mayhem, though, but teammates are now finally in the zone. That's going to pause the timer. 18 should be controlled here by Jet Li. He wins this fight onto Barzilian. Barzilian forced to back away. First tick in. Grab slam earned. And we see that invested. Jet Li pushing through, very similar to what we saw Methods do the round prior. Meanwhile, the fight's still going on over towards B. A massive life advantage has really started to develop here for Excelerate. It's 12-6. 2 ticks in, 3rd tick on its way. Proto drops, so no grab slam for him. Jet Li still being annoying. That's a lightning that's been earned as well. Round over. Excelerate, tie things up.
And that's a very similar setup to what Red Reserve does, right?
Yeah,
you get the
almost
SOG
identical.
in 18, you get the other SOG over inside a post, and you force them. It's just bad gunfights. As soon as you lose pressure on defense over at the B site, when you're returning, it's just bad gunfights. You're dealing with the ICRs in the open lanes. Then you get close and got to deal with the SOG. So unless you have someone going on a full flank, which you don't have time if you get like that 5-man wipe that comes in, it can just be incredibly difficult. And then, of course, even if you do win some of those, well, Jet Li's sitting on a grab slam. It's still a 6-life advantage, and Excelerate just putting on a clinic there on offense. Team's still fighting for that first defensive hold.
And Ruiz uses his crash there as well. Jet Li, 100 off streaks. Or off another streak, I should say. Has a contested. Bear in mind the grab slam. I mean, if he gets any information on one player from UYU, he can fly in with that grab slam, and is that the information he needs? The challenge comes through. He will fall. No grab slam invested. But for now, at least, A still contested. Brack with a war machine. And Ruiz was able to find his 2nd streak. He crashed at the beginning of the round to get the 1st. The lightning used, and A almost defended. Barzilian survives. skin of his teeth, but the trade's still coming through. Accelerate don't want to give up A just yet, applying so much pressure, trying to bleed as many lives as they possibly can. Finally, the War Machine invested by Brack. Flak is out, though, so that's not really going to do too much. Finally finds the first. This decap of the second tip can come through, but again, trades back and forth.
Because of that Flak, the cluster nade obviously doesn't get a kill. By the way, you, had pressure over towards B. Perfeezy wins that gunfight, and Ruiz is going to, trade himself out. But now it looks like UYU has enough pressure in. You got to chalk it up. Brack maybe just trying to do some damage, find a free kill if he can get it. Cannot, so he backs down, and well, now you got the pressure over towards B. Once again, same spot.
Kind of the saving grace there for Accelerate is you think about the life advantage in the last round. After they capped A, it was, what, I think UYU had about 26 lives. So if they may have actually been more, maybe 28. Now, 17. So you basically bought yourself, although yes, the same amount of time, UYU with drastically less lives to try and attack B. So all that pressure they put over towards A, very, very beneficial in the long run.
Have the option of using streaks as well, because UYU, they're getting locked down by ARs. You got Skies and Brack, and everyone is just looking down the way. Brack, of course, leading these out. And at a certain point, even if you start pushing up, the streaks are going to force bad gunfights. And, well, you try to flank. Perfeezy's there. You try to push through mid. You got players there. This is the spawn trap. The setup is in. Well, Perfeezy eventually falls, but the only lane that's open is the bottom lane, and that's not what you want to be pushing through, not within much time. And, of course, Perfeezy, I think he might just, well, have that vision pulse if he wants it as well. But you might not need it.
Don't think he even needs it. 13-6, the life advantage. I mean, you can kind of back pocket that just in case you need to hit the panic button, so to speak. But with how well Accelerate's played this round, I don't think they're going to be pushing any type of panic buttons. 11 lives to 5. 0 ticks in B, 60 seconds. Your Accelerate, you just got to make sure here you don't feed anything unnecessarily. You still have 2 streaks on Ruiz. You have a lot, and I mean a lot, of utility left over, and the kills come through. It's Brack with 2, 3v10. Good luck, have fun. Proto, Mayhem, and Knight.
And obviously that's a good round for a lot of reasons, but even Ruiz just being able to stay alive for the extra, well, he hasn't died yet, so 30+ seconds when he was tucked in between 4 players to buy his teammates time to come help him out. The details being done right. 8v2 UYU. It's a hopeless situation. Make it 7v1, and we asked for a defensive win, and it wasn't as good as LG did it, but the setup there was great for a moment when they started getting the spawn kills and kept UYU pinned back and gave them the 5, 6, 7-man life advantage.
And it all started with the pressure over towards A, just refusing to give it up. Consistent challenges and contests just dwindled down UYU's lives. Not massively by any means, but enough. When that spawn trap was locked in, UYU just couldn't keep up.
And now you have a lot at your disposal as well. You got the vision pulse. I think just about everything, right? No TAC 5, no War Machine, but
everything
you can
else.
Combo the temp. you can have a handful of different combinations. On the flip side, a lot of players are close as well, but everyone's going to be mid-map, or a bunch of players are. Accelerate, hyper-aggressive. Jet Li's already through. You go left, you go right. They're cutting over towards B, because that's where Skies is. Mayhem, though, just going to shred him. Jet Li surges forward. Mayhem is going to be able to get 2. Proto going to fall. And honestly, this is a very good spot for Accelerate to be in for the moment.
Streaks. Yep. And Ruiz drops the Hellstorm. There's 2. And a B cap off the rip. This could be very, very problematic for UYU. First tick over towards B. 18 is controlled by Perfeezy. Knight survives the fight with 30 health. And 8's coming through. Accelerate still with resources over towards B. And still putting time into the zone. That's 2 ticks. Looking towards the 3rd, and Ruiz wins the gunfight against Mayhem. B capped. 2 minutes to cap A. You got a 5 life advantage. You've got so many specialists to work with here. Looks like another 3-0 loss for UYU.
I was going to say, this is just going to be brutal, right? You call him the Vision Pulse, which Perfeezy is doing now. This means you should be able to get a handful of kills. And, well, if you got a player like, I don't know, Skies that wants to come up with the Tempest, he can. For the moment, just doing it with the guns. 30 points off some extra streaks from Ruiz. Proto with the grab slam says, no thank you, no extra lightning for you. Honestly, that's a decent thing for UYU. You get rid of the Vision Pulse, and, well, nothing bad happens.
You still have to deal with, oh, I don't know, grab slam. The War Machine comes out, and also a minute 30, and also being down 4 lives. So, yes, you deal with something. Still a lot more to deal with as well. As Knight drops as he tried to get inside mid. Of course, if you're UYU, the only thing you have left is Knight's Tempest. which you're going to have to use at some point because in comes the Accelerate Cavalry. Again, Jet Li with a grab slam, invests it, whiffs it, gets nothing, but slides straight through. Is it even going to have an effect? Is it even going to matter? That's the question, and I think there's your answer as Profizi hits mid-cut. He finds one, Jet Li shuts down Mayhem, one tick in. UYU scrambling towards the zone. Tempest is out by Knight, but you can't slow down. You've got to push forward. Hits the first shot, but he gets hit himself. Accelerate with the kills. Accelerate with the round win. And with the 3-0, convincing, dominating win.
That's a very good game as well. Keep in mind, this Accelerate did not have a very good record at the end of the first 2 weeks of the Pro League. The roster essentially explodes. You're pulling in players from a bunch of different directions. And now the question is, well, you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole. How fast can you, I don't know, climb? How do you get out of a hole? You make a ladder?
Climb, make a ladder. How
Something
quickly
like
can
that.
you scramble
How quickly
out?
can you build a ladder? Yeah, that doesn't have a good effect. I was going to say stop digging yourself in a hole, but either way, how good can this Accelerate team be? We have still yet to find out, but then here they looked very good.
And I think the important thing here is the improvement that we're clearly seeing.
Yes.
You know, we talked about the Arsenal hardpoint. We've talked a lot extensively about those Game 5 stretches. We'll see if that improves as the Pro League continues. But a nice victory, 3-0 for Accelerate. It's going to give them a ton of confidence against UYU. And again, it wasn't close. It was very, very dominant. That's for sure. But we'll be back after this with the post-game analysis of the desk.
by another. Of course, that was Excelerate taking UYU down in pretty clean fashion, Pack. And I mean, honestly, they looked really strong. They didn't seem to have a lot of trouble.
No, that was a really strong showing from Excelerate. We saw mostly perfect gameplay from them, really, except for I think there was a mistake out of Brack in round 1 of the SnD where he didn't push a guy that was one shot in the corner. But other than that, he followed that up with full streaks. Other than that, we saw exquisite gameplay from Excelerate.
Yeah,
for the first time ever in the league, probably.
For UYU on that first map, they only had 5 seconds on Statuette and 0 seconds on Turret. That means you're completely getting outslayed. You're losing your rotations. You're not getting trades. Nothing is going right for you. Skies and Profizi were both sitting at 22 and 10. Unbelievable game out of them. Purifier was actually looking absolutely dominant on Arsenal, and they just ran the floor with them that entire series.
UYU though, Nameless, what happened there?
Live or die by that first map, right?
Yep.
Like they're searching to destroy records 3-8 in the Pro League. So it's like if they lose that first map, they're most likely going to lose that game too. And from that point on, the morale is pretty much destroyed. And we kind of saw right there happen. And, you know, Chance and Ben talked about it a little bit as well. It's like it seems these guys get 3-0'd or they 3-0. And, you know, Excelerate, they had a couple tougher matches earlier in the week, so prepared them for this one. They went game 5 twice. They're finally able to get that clean-cut series here versus UYU and what was an extremely strong showing on every single map.
I gotta say, like, so for me on UYU, it's Proto seems to be super inconsistent. Like, we've seen him struggle to start and then pick it up later in the game and come through like even slightly positive. But in those times when he can't pull it together in the middle of the game, it just looks so sloppy on the side of UYU. They just can't seem to get it together sometimes, and it just shows in the outcome of the match.
I mean, I think we sort of saw that pacing thing that we were talking about, you know, when this team was formed. It happened on that game 1 where they were just not together. They were getting two-pieced, and it's just not being fast enough on those trades. And, you know, at some point early on in the game when a team starts to mount that lead, if you're not able to get that one break to try to, you know, neutralize the opposition, it is going to spiral out of control. And we saw them lose 250 to 98. And to me, that's the story of this series. It's just on that first map, that pacing, they could get nothing going. They get pummeled, and then from then on out, Excelerate, where they knew that they could just run through these guys.
Well, and they certainly did. I mean, again, we said it before. It seemed fairly comfortable for Excelerate. They didn't seem to struggle too much there. But what if they're going up against, you know, stronger teams than Nameless? I mean, they're probably not going to have such pretty 3-0s like they did with UYU.
Well, yeah, obviously, if they're going against a stronger team, they're probably not going to get that 3-0. But we have seen them take, you know, teams to that game 5, like Luminosity, get into a game 5. So we know that they're capable of pushing it. It's just, are they able to close out? Like versus UYU, we saw UYU, the morale was destroyed. They get 3-0'd, but will Excelerate be able to do that versus the top team? So far, they haven't been able to, but, you know, potential's there. We know what they're capable of. If you can push to a game 5, that means somewhere along the series you got some momentum. It's just, will they be able to close it out? I guess it's a story in the making. We don't know yet.
Take a look now at our schedule because